Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I am your host, Kiana Canada. Welcome back to the Kiana Canada Show. Before we get into today's topic, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Remember that your likes and your shares, what it does is it pushes videos like this up in the algorithm. It tells the algorithm that videos like this are important. But we must be reminded that just because videos like this are not pushed up in the algorithm, that is not an indication that videos like this are not important. As a second announcement, please subscribe and follow me on Facebook by searching for Kiana Canada on Google or on Facebook. Today, we are going to be analyzing Alexis Wilkins' defamation suit against Samuel B. Parker. And at the end of this video, I'll give you my opinion on who I think will win. Who is Alexis Parker? Excuse me, who is Alexis Wilkins? As mentioned in my previous video, Wilkins is an American conservative, a country singer, actress, and PragerU employee. She is the girlfriend of FBI Director Kash Patel. Who is Samuel B. Parker? Samuel B. Parker is a resident and citizen of the state of Utah. According to the lawsuit, Samuel Parker ran for United States Senate in Utah in 2018, but was eliminated at the party convention. After his loss, Parker became a social media personality. Now, here's the issue. Samuel Parker alleges Alexis Wilkins is an agent of a foreign government assigned to manipulate and compromise the director of the FBI, Kash Patel. Parker stated, quote, "What we have in Alexis Wilkins is an allegedly devout trad Christian woman hooking up with a much older Hindu Indian man," end quote. He went on to say on X, quote, "Again, why is a 24-year-old devout Christian hooking up with an Hindu Indian old enough to be her dad at a Christian nationalist conference? Weird," end quote. According to the lawsuit, Parker concluded his thread on X with, quote, "Now go catch up on how Ashley St. Clair might be an Israeli honeypot operation," end quote. According to Wilkins, Parker's supporters interpreted his, quote, "honey" comment about her to be in a window for Honeypot. Here's the claim. The claim is buttressed on Parker's posts about honeypots, and as we covered on this show, means an agent of a foreign government who begins a relationship with another for purposes of manipulating and compromising them. As seen in the lawsuit, Parker implied that Wilkins is secretly working on behalf of a foreign government, Israel to be exact, to compromise Kash Patel. To support this claim, Wilkins points to a different account Parker allegedly owns, where he wrote, quote, "A 24-year-old Christian honey hooks up with a 42-year-old Hindu Indian who, at the time, had no government position, power, or influence. Are you buying it?" End quote. In the lawsuit, Wilkins argues she has never been an agent for an intelligence agency and is certainly not in relationship with Patel to compromise him. She further argues that Parker knew his implications were false, yet he published them because of his animus and motive for profit. Now, what are the causes of actions? Wilkins asserts on cause of action for defamation per se, and defamation by implication. But what must she prove? In most defamation cases, the claimant must prove the publication to be defamatory. Second, it may be reasonably understood to refer to her. Third, it has been published by a third party. In a defamation per se case, Wilkins must show the ascription, such as being a honeypot to compromise Patel, is false. ruins her reputation, and is undesirable to her. As mentioned in the lawsuit, Wilkins believes Parker's statements is defamation per se because it accuses her of criminal conduct and unchastity. What about defamation by implication, you might ask? Well, Wilkins asserts the honeypot inference is defamatory as it leads to hatred, distrust, ridicule, contempt, and or disgrace for her. It also leaves others to interpret that she has committed various crimes, including treason. But there are several defenses available to Parker, like truth, honest opinion, and public interest. On truth, Parker's statements must be proven true on a balance of probabilities. This could be difficult for Parker if Wilkins asserts she is not a Mossad agent and there is no record showing her to be one. Parker would need to demonstrate his statements that Wilkins is an alleged foreign agent is true and could be proven in court. If he can find evidence, he wins on truth. If not, Wilkins defeats Parker on truth. As with my analysis of the Seraphin case, Wilkins may have a difficult time winning this one on honest opinion. For instance, Parker may argue that he truly believes Wilkins has the characteristics of a foreign agent based on the research he conducted. Indeed, Parker claims he has done, quote, hard work and research, end quote, into Wilkins. He would, of course, need to present that hard work and research in his response to the lawsuit. There is another issue, though. At no point did Parker reach out to Wilkins. Could this impact his claim? Yes, if he knew his statements were false, didn't care to hear the truth, and sought to circulate them out of malice. But then again, it may not. If he truly believed he had all the evidence before him, in my opinion, the burden of proof would shift to Parker to demonstrate this is so. Nonetheless, Wilkins could argue his failure to reach out to her is suggestive. He wasn't interested in learning the truth at all. One last point. The scales might shift in favor of Wilkins on the public interest defense. As mentioned in my earlier video, someone like Parker would have to demonstrate his perception that Wilkins is allegedly a Mossad agent is in the public's interest. With the United States' allegiance with Israel and politicians like Ted Cruz acknowledging that both countries spy on each other, Parker may lose the public interest defense, unless Parker can show Wilkins' conduct to be a detriment to American citizens as a whole. This could take Parker back to the first two defenses. Does he believe Americans like Kashyap Patel should be concerned about his privacy? Well, it doesn't sound like it from his post. But here's another question. Does he truly believe that Wilkins threatens American secrets and intelligence? I think the jury is still out on that one. I'll follow up on these questions once the response has been filed. What I noticed is all of Parker's ire seems to be directed towards Patel, which Wilkins could argue is that he really isn't concerned about the privacy and welfare of American citizens like Patel. For me, this raises an important question. Who really should have brought this lawsuit? I believe the suit would have been stronger if Patel would have filed it. And here's why. Indeed, the lawsuit acknowledges Parker had projected his animus for Patel onto Wilkins because of her relationship with the director. It also claims Parker has obvious animus towards Kash Patel for his heritage. For instance, he repeatedly called him, quote, an Indian, which Wilkins claims is derogatory. Further, Parker never acknowledges Patel to be an American citizen. According to the lawsuit, Parker repeatedly called attention to the fact that Patel is Hindu as well and took his oath of office over the Hindu holy book, implying that Patel is not loyal to the United States and that his oath would be less legitimate than a Christian's oath would be if taken with their hand on the Bible. But here's the catch: Patel is not an ordinary citizen. He is a public official. Because he is a public official, the bar is higher. In other words, Patel would have a harder time proving defamation in a court of law. This could be one reason why his name is not on the suit. Parker does seem to have a stronger defense under honest opinion. If it moves to trial, Wilkins will need to demonstrate the claim that she is a, quote, honeypot to be false. And from reading the lawsuit, I think she believes she can do that. In my opinion, I think the parties will settle this one out of court. Now, who do you think will win? Do you think that Alexis Wilkins will win, or do you think that Samuel Parker will win? These are questions that I want to know. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.